Hello folks and welcome along to the channel. We are here with WWR for their Season 7 Round 2 race here in Mexico. And with this track it is going to be 4.304 kilometres or 2.674 in miles. We're going to have 36 laps of racing, around 17 corners on this track with 3 DRS zones but only 2 detection points. The tyres we're going to be using are the softest of the bunch, I do believe. I think I'll have a double check. Yep, so it's going to be the C5 soft, C4 mediums and the C3 hard compound tyres. So a touch softer than what we had on the previous game, as on the previous year on 24 we had the C4 tyres, so for the softs, and the C3 mediums and the C2 hards. So we're going to touch softer, so expect that tyre wear to play a bit more of a bigger deal here tonight compared to the previous game. So let's check anyone in the chat, because I've not been on it just now. No, right, so okay, go and get to this. So the points as they stand right now after round 1, Onsu getting 26 points. Then we've got AJLS on 18 points, Astube on 15, Abel is in 4th place on 12 points, Lewis is on 10 points, Goat Flash is on, that's Night Flash I do believe, he's on 8 points. We've got Kadoy on 6 points in 7th place. We've got Ice One in 8th on 4 points. We've got Aaron, Aaron I think it is, he's sitting on 2 points. And then we've got Thatcher's on 1 point, sitting in 10th place. And then we've got Dirty Taffy, Bucko, Ivan, Alpha Bull, Jay, Sneaky Turtle, Jake, Steve and Chuck, all yet to score a point. So we'll have a quick look at the constructors. Williams sitting on top on 26 points, but 1 point behind them is Silver on 25 points. Aston Martin sit in 3rd on 20 points, and we've got Alpine on 18. Haas are in 5th on 6 points, Red Bull on 4. Ferrari are in 7th on 2 points, Mercedes on 1 point, and Racing Bulls and McLaren have still yet to score a point here. So let's see how this goes. We're just getting underway now, so we've got AJLS there saying, hope I survive this. Well, we'll see. Wishing you the best of luck out there. Hopefully it does all go well for you. Just in case any of you guys do end up hearing in the background my console, I'm needing to clean it out, so if you do hear that, I do apologise. It should be all good though. Now, this one I think has one of the longest straights on the calendar. It's a big long run down into turn 1, so is being in first place in pole position really the ideal spot you want? That is the question, because as we could see, if you just look down at the map at the bottom right hand side of the screen, you can see where the grid starts and then where turn 1 is. So it's a big long way down into turn 1, so I would wager, I guess, the second row possibly have the better option in terms of being first going into turn 1, unless first place gets a really good launch, but the slipstream effect is going to come in real quick. We've got cars already running out onto the track. Got Jay coming out on a set of intermediates on a dry track. Interesting strategy there. See if that'll get him a pole position. But who was it that was out first? It was Thatcher's, who's just rounding turn 3. The final of the Solana complex. Now into turn 4 of Esse del Lago and turn 5. Now we've got the hairpin of Rabat here. Turn 6 down into the S's of 7, 8 and 9 just coming up here. So we've got Dirty Taffy also on a set of mediums, everyone else opting for the softs. There's through turn 10 and 11 and straight down into turn 12 before entering this stadium section here. Turns 13, 14 and 15. Now we've got turn 16 and turn 17, although 16 and 17 is just one corner here. On board with Thatcher's on their first lap. DRS is wide open as we could see. Long run down all the way into turn 1, so you've got a lot of thinking time. Prepare that brake in the zone. Where are you going to brake? Turn in, there he is. Flings that car in, clips that apex nicely at turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. Nicely getting back on the power. DRS wide open all the way down into turn 4. Braking just at that 100-metre board and just slightly goes a wee bit too deep, misses that apex, that compromises his turn 5 entry and exit, sorts it all back out by Rabat. Now into turn 7, trying to throw that car in, seems to be a little bit of understeer there in that Mercedes. Now coming to the end of sector 2 where the DRS is wide open. What is that going to be? It's a 58.496. Now into the stadium section. Only a couple of corners left to go. Nicely does it. And it takes too much curb and it ends up invalidating, and yep, that's certainly not going to be helping them into the pits they come. Who was next up? Trying to see who it was. We've got ARL here, who just comes across the line at 116.096. And they take provisional pole, considering they are the only one to set a time. But here comes the Ferrari, puts in a 115.602. Nice time out there. Let's see, is Alphabet on a lap? Not Lewis is just starting a lap, and Night Flash doing an extra run. It seems to get them tyres up to temperature. We'll go with Lewis right now. You do drain a lot of that battery all the way down that start-finish straight, and after that it's just trying to maintain that. Coming down into turn 4 now. Hits that quite nicely, both turn 4 and turn 5. Nicely through turn 6, we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That was the Ferrari just moving out of the way there of Srivatsa. Now let's see Lewis coming into turn 12. Now we've got 13 right here. 14 and 15. Then we've got turn 16 and 17. And that is it. Let's see, coming across the line, it's going to be a 116.420. Third place for Lewis. Last year's winner, last race winner on Sue, just coming through the stadium section. Let's see what they're going to be coming up to. What is their time? Is it going to be a 114? No, 115.235. Put that on provisional pole position for now. ARL is on a lap. Lewis, Harrison, Godoy is Harrison, so a bunch of others. Night Flash though is on a lap. We'll sit with the Aston Martins. They're going through the S's there. Nicely does it. hopefully that Alpine up ahead shouldn't get in the way. I think they're going to be through that nicely and safely before the Aston Martin of Night Flash comes into play. And yep, they are, so they're already away on their lap. To the line goes Night Flash, puts that in the P4, a 1:15.978. We'll go down and see Jay, who's in the Racing Bull, coming through the S section nicely. Taking a lot of curb there quite nicely. They're cutting as much of that corner as legally possible. I'm going to try and open up the corner and make it as straight line as you possibly can. Coming into the stadium set. Oh, end up having to take a couple of jabs at the steering there and takes a bit too much of the apex at turn 14, sorry. That ends up throwing him out a bit. So into the pits it comes Jay. Alpha Bull's in the Williams. Is just coming around turn 3 there on their flying lap. We've got 10 minutes and 30 seconds left until the checkered flag is waved in this section, in this session. Cheesy peeps. So, and we've still got 5 drivers still yet to set a time. We've got Jay, Astube, Alpha Bulls, Thatchers and Abel. See what Alpha Bull is going to be capable of coming up to turn 12 now. Into 13 and 14. Careful not to take too much apex there. Careful getting on the power. And to the line goes P8 with a 1:17.139. Oh, Thatcher's taking an IndyCar line there. Fortunately enough, it never gained him any time, so it never invalidated that lap. So let's see how Thatcher's is going to do. It's only going to be a 1:19. I think that was just a double warm-up lap. We'll see how that goes for them on their next lap. In fact, we'll go on board them yet. So it was just a double warm-up lap, it seems. We're going with Abel in the Aston Martin. We've got the other Aston Martin of Night Flash in P5 right now. Is Abel going to be able to beat their teammate here with a 1:15.978? We will soon see. They get into the 1:14s. A 1:14.807. Nicely done there from Abel. That I was not expecting. So Abel puts that on provisional pole position for the time being. We've got 8 minutes and 20 seconds left now. Let's see Astube coming through the final corner to finish their lap. It's going to be a 1:16.322. Good enough to move just ahead of the teammate of Lewis. Let's go down to Jay on their second lap, taking a big chunk of apex there at turn 2, and that was a bit aggressive there on the track limits violation there, I think, from the marshal, from the stewards and race control. I think that was a bit. Yeah, that was a weird one, because I don't think he was truly off the track fully, so that is certainly an interesting one, I will say that. But unfortunately, Jay has invalidated, so hopefully he could get back and either get a new set on, or just go for another lap. But he's not harvesting this, so he's going to be coming into the pits. I'm thinking, is he going to come in? Nope, he's going for it. So let's sit with Jay and see how he does. Plenty of time to think for the braking zone. Trying to see if he could pick up a distant tow from that car ahead, but I think that is his teammate. Is that his teammate? No, that's a Haas in front. Sorry about that. But no, it seems he's given up on that time, unfortunately. Let's see who is on a lap. Is anyone on a lap? We're getting ready to settle up. We've got ARL here, currently sitting in 5th place. He improves it by just over half a tenth. He could actually move up into 4th place, just ahead of Jake. We'll see if that is going to be the case. If that is going to be the better option for better time here. Coming into sector, oh, he's up by 3/10 here. Did have a car in the way there of a silver. I think that was Astube there who moved out the way very politely. Fighting through the stadium section here is ARL. That are up on the time. Could they possibly even put this into P2? No. 115.4 on the dot, so they do improve on their time, only enough to go up one position. We've got Astube on a lap, who's coming down the start finish straight into the Solana complex of turns 1, 2 and 3, and is unfortunately invalidated. That rear end is very unstable. No idea why they're wasting that battery when they've invalidated, unless it's not came up on their time, unless they're just wanting to get back into the pits. Sneaky Turtle not on a lap at the moment. Must have just finished one. Currently sitting in P11 with a 117.332. Jake just taking it nice and easy. It seems he's just trying to warm up. Oh no, he's actually on a lap. He's just been using a lot of battery, it seems. Through the S's nicely there. DRS wide open all the way down into turn 12. Oh, getting a little bit shaky there on the exit. I did say that he was purple in sector 2 for a brief moment there. Whether that is the case or not, we will soon find out. Coming to the line is the McLaren of Jake. Did they improve on their time? They did, and they go P2 with 114.889. Who is going to be next up? We've got Alpha Bull on a lap. Sneaky Turtle just a way to start their lap. Coming to the end of sector 1, is Alpha Bull up on their time? They are by almost 2/10. To improve just that little bit more, they could get up past Kadoy here, but don't think, unless they improve by a considerable amount in the S's here, I don't think they're going to be able to move up much further than that as things stand at the moment. Now coming through the S's there, nice and smooth. Oh, just takes that little bit too much apex and has to dial it back there, trying to recharge that battery now. Let's see, Jay, only one on the track who hasn't set a time yet. He's unfortunately ended up invalidating both of their times up to now, so let's see if they could get a ride this time. Coming through the first complex there, 1, 2 and 3. It was actually taking it a bit more cautiously this time to try and get a time on the board, it seems. Let's see how the Racing Bull is going to be able to do here. Coming into the S section of sector 2. Jay being very cautious there, like a lot like more than a regular level cautious, but he's got time. He's put a time on the board, a 117.111. Let's see, Alpha Bill's not on a lap. Dirty Taffy is though. Just coming through turns 4, 5, and now 6. Oh, Jake's retired from the session. He's had enough. That was in the pit lane, so that wasn't on track. So he is going to be starting P2 at least. At highest, sorry. Looking at Dirty Taffy though, he's got a 118.158 to beat. It's not a very relative time, but we'll see how they're going to improve here. Take a wide run around the final corner, and they did improve by quite a considerable amount, but not enough to, just enough to move up one position. Let's see who else is on a lap. Is Abel actually going to, is that Abel? No, that's, oh, it's Night Flash, my mistake, so he's already on a lap. So everyone who is out on track is on a lap right now. Abel is on a lap. We've got Onsu here, who's unfortunately invalidated. Servats is coming through into Sector 2 now. Got ARL just coming in through the Solana complex. Night Flash has finished their quickest time of 1:15.525. So it did end up moving up on Lewis, who's still got time to beat. Still got an opportunity to get this possibly even pole position, but we will soon see, is Lewis going to be able to do this? We've got a couple of cars coming across the line now. And that was Jay just finishing there, Kadoy, and I think that was a Ferrari of Servat's. They're not improving enough on their time, but Lewis coming to the line doesn't manage to improve, unfortunately. Got the Alpine of ARL. Here we've got Abel, who goes even quicker. That is just, that's just insane, I'm not going to lie. ARL goes P3 at 1:15.152. So Abel there, putting that on pole position there. But in all honesty, ARL is in the prime position, in my honest opinion, currently, who's going to be starting in P3. So that is certainly one to watch right there, I will say, is ARL, Onsu, possibly even Jake. Abel getting that pole position though. Jake in P2, ARL third, fourth for Onsu, Servatza in P5, then we've got sixth for Night Flash Lewis, then we've got Astube in ninth is Kadoy, then we've got Jay, Alpha Bull, Dirty Taffy, Sneaky Turtle and Thatchers. Now we're going to be moving on to the race. Of course, we're going to be having a little couple of minute break real quick, and we will be able to come back in just a few moments. So, we're just about to get this underway. We've just got 1 minute. We've got folks who have sorted out their tyre strategies. We'll have a little quick sneak peek and see a few medium runners and a few hard runners. Sneaky Turtle and Thatcher's opting for the hard, same with Alpha Bull. Not as J, sorry. And Astube all opting for the hard compound tyres. Everyone else opting for the mediums. Let's see how this is going to fare. So anyone got any predictions going into turn 1? Or who's going to come out on top? Let's see who that is going to be. Oh, there we go. We've got 1, 2. Oh, no formation lap here. So all lights are lit up and we are away here. On a quick look at the position changes there. And Jake Onsu, just like what I said, get a good start. Could be possible. We've got Jake though running that. Sorry about that, folks. There, I've got Jake there running that slipstream on Abel. Oh, ARL and Onsu getting in a bit of contact there. Who's going to be coming out on top there? It looks like it's going to be ARL managing to maintain that third position coming out of turn 3. It looks like Servats is going for the lunge down the inside on Lewis here, and it looks like he's going to manage to make it work, but Lewis is coming back strong and fighting hard. Onsu also fighting hard to gain that third position. Just looking down, we can see the Williams of Alpha Bull and Night Flash in that Aston Martin going right off the track there. It seems like he was shoved off the track there from Alpha Bull. Wondering what happened there. That was unsure whether wheels locked or such. What happened? That was an odd one, but Alpha Bull got the inside, it seemed, and the Night Flash ended up getting shoved off the track. We'll see how that is going to go in a few. Night Flash fell down. Oh, Jay's around. Has Jay clipped that apex again a bit too much? That's a questionable one. That hopefully he can get that. Make sure not to make that same mistake again. Sneaky Turtle and Night Flash going whizzing past Alpha Bull, but hold on a minute. Night Flash is still under threat here, and now he's managed to make the move complete, and he's going for a move on Sneaky Turtle just up ahead. Now he's holding that back there for that 8th place. So Jay's managed to get going again, so that's always nice. Now we're on to lap 2. The top 2 haven't changed yet, so that's been quite a strong start from the pair of them. Onsu has managed to get past ARL here. And ARL down into 3rd. Lewis is in 5th. ARL down to 4th, sorry. Lewis in 5th, 6th for Servatza. We've got Sneaky Turtle, who's been quite sneaky, and he's up 5 places here. And oh, he's under threat from both cars here, both the Aston Martin and the Silver. And it seemed like, has Night Flash just got damaged there? No. It seemed like one of them got a little bit of damage, but it seems like everything is okay. Night Flash being shoved right across the track and onto the inside. They're going to be going 3 wide into turn 1, which is going to go into 2 wide. Oh, and it looks like Astube managed to make that work. And while all that's going on, we've been missing this battle for the lead here between Jake and Abel. I am so sorry, folks, about that, but Jake has managed to move up on Abel and take the lead of this Grand Prix. And Onsu is just quietly watching on. We're going to go down to Astube and Night Flash, who are battling out also for that 8th position. 10-second time penalty for Jay, who's retired. That's unfortunate. Just not their day, and I think they possibly, hopefully they come back stronger next week. Looking on right now, this top four is inseparable right now, all sticking right close to one another. On board with the Alpine of ARL, who's got a nice view of everything going on just up ahead. Jake putting in the fastest lap of the rest of 118.789. And oh, that's Jay's car out on track. Looking on from Onsu here as Abel goes around the outside, and Onsu thinking he might go for it himself, but oh, wait a minute, Abel goes deep, and hold on a second, Onsu's going to be going for it here, going up, and is he going to manage to get he's got the inside line going into turn 4, but is that going to be enough? Who's going to be later on the brakes? It looks like it's going to be Abel holding off on that second place there. That was very tight there, and that could have ruined him. Onsu is lagging a bit. It seems to be all good now. It's smoothened out, I think. But this little battle there that just happened for second place, that's allowed Jake to drop out of that, pull out of that DRS zone. But now with just managing to get the DRS there, has Abel, and that managed to pull him back in. Does it end up going out wide? No, Dirty Taffy around. Let's see if they got a broken front wing or that. No, but they do not, so it's all good there. Now it's turned into a battle for first place here between the top four, as they are all the closest in proximity to each other, all within 1 second of one another, as Night Flash puts in the fastest lap of 118.718. They are currently sitting in 8th place, closing in on Godoy. Currently 3 seconds is the gap to 7th place, so they're going to need to get their foot down a little. Looking on at Abel, is going to take a lunge down the inside at turn 4, and isn't even going to need to go for a lunge, as it gets it done nice and early this time. But wait a minute, Jake holding it off around the outside, and is that going to be his downfall? Looking on at Onsu, no, Onsu deciding against it. They're not being close enough to go for a move just yet. Looking on at this battle, this is quite intense here between Jake, Abel, Onsu and ARL. ARL's just been sitting nice and patiently waiting. Just waiting for that opportune moment to strike. And my Jesus, Night Flash is actually flying there. We checked in with him just a moment ago, and he's closed in that gap by almost 2 seconds on Kadoi. Just over that this lap, so we could expect an overtake from Night Flash soon enough. Looking on at Onsu, is he going to be able to go for a move going into turn 1 on the McLaren? Nope, they still stick in that order. So going down to Night Flash, who is on the medium compound tyres. It's only the Mercedes that have decided to go on to the hard compound tyres. As we've got Alpha Bull into the pit. Now let's check, was that a wing change or was that not? Oh. Yellow flag, Dirty Taffy, if they got a broken front wing. Nope, we'll have a quick check and see. So, no, that was just a medium to hards. So that's definitely going to be a 2-stop strategy, I would imagine. I don't think the hards are going to do that long, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll never know how things are going to go. Of course, it is a touch softer this year. So last time, it was basically the medium tyres from last year are the hard tyres this year. So we'll see how that goes. As Abel is being closed in on by Jake and Onsu. Is Onsu going to go for the inside? And is Abel going to lose 2 places? The Haas and the Aston Martin are locking wheels. They're going side by side through turns 1 and 2. And by turn 3, the Haas has finalised that move and got up into 2nd place. And now Jake and Onsu can move off, as Abel unfortunately didn't have the DRS there when they did out in front. I will say that is a very big drawback to being overtaken going down the start-finish straight. is you won't have DRS coming out of turn 3 on the rundown into turn 4. ARL is just patiently waiting, trying to go for that opportune moment, and he's seen it as, wait, what's happened with Jake? Jake's round. Jake is around at the S's. I've never seen that before there, and I'm really sorry about that whistle there. That was unexpected there, so a wee bit obvious to laugh at later if you want. Abel, so closing in on ARL to try and reclaim that position. Onsu is in the lead of this Grand Prix now. Oh, that's a Red Bull. Dirty Toffee's out on track. That is unsafe. And we're going to see possibly anyone coming up to that car, because that is not nice. I do not like that here at this track. We're going board with Abel, who's not managed to close that gap enough, but Srivatsa has managed to close the gap enough to get within that DRS window. So that was Dirty Taffy's car. That was, I will say, that is definitely a sketchy one on how the car comes out like that. Looking on at Lewis, though, currently sitting in 10th place, has just came out on a set of fresh hards just behind Kadoy, who's on fresh hards also. Jake opting for the mediums again. So double medium hard, is that the strategy that Jake is going for? We'll see if that is going to work. ARL into the pits. Alpha Bills gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Abel managing to get free air and full range of that DRS. So that is a big boost there for Abel, of course. Let's see if he's going to be able to close that gap in on Sue. No, ARL will be attempting to just boot it. Right now he's got plenty of clean air right out in front of him, so you can maybe try and close that gap to the leader. We'll see what that's sitting at. So I think it's about 20-second pit stop here. So we'll just keep that gap to the leader up right now. We'll see, is Onsu going to make a pit? He's actually pushing this lap. He's used quite a bit of battery. He's running actually a bit low on battery, but not using any going through the stadium section. Is he going to pit to cover off ARL, or is he going to stay out? That's the question. Let's see, he's staying out. What about the other car of Abel? Same with Srivatsa, so all staying out. Can ARL end up getting an undercut here if the rest of them are doing a 2-stop? That's the question as Night Flash comes across the line to start lap 10. Looking on at Thatcher's, Lewis and Kadoy here. And it looks like Lewis has managed to get up into 7th place, has managed to move past Kadoy. Didn't catch enough of that to realise what was going on there, unfortunately, but let's see, is Kadoy going to be able to come back in this, or it looks like he is. He's going to take that inside line going into turn 1, and there we go, he's got that nice and covered. Lewis is not going to have the DRS here, so he's going to be the vulnerable one here as Thatcher is falling down a bit. Well, falling back a little, is currently in 9th place. We've got Sneaky Turtle just up ahead, so these four all battling it out for 6th place as things stand right now. We've got ARL, who's managed to close in a good chunk of time there to the car ahead. Looking to the gap to the leaders, it's got down to 20.3 seconds in the leader. None of the leaders opting to come into the pits as of yet. So look at stops, so it's only ARL, Kadoy, Lewis, Astube, Jake and Alpha Bull that have made pit stops Looking on at this battle for 6th place, we're on board with Godoy. In fact, we're going board with Lewis here. You can see this battle going on between Godoy and Sneaky Turtle. Sneaky Turtle is overtaken by Godoy, and Lewis follows suit here. Is he going to manage to get the move done on Godoy? On going into turn 1, doesn't look like it. But there is still a chance going into turn 4. Oh, I could see it. That Haas got a sketchy getaway. Can he get it done? If he used a bit of that battery that he had there, he could have got that move done. But I think he's opting to just try and put him offline, save that battery for when he needs it. And it looks like he's going to get the move done around the outside of the hairpin of Raback. And now going down into turn 7. Now, absolutely beautiful overtake there from Lewis. Going to move up to Abel. Oh, Sneaky Turtle getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We're on lap 12 here now with Onsu and Abel. Abel has got that DRS, moves out to the right hand side to claim that first place before getting into the braking zone. And now Abel into the lead of this Grand Prix, and Onsu in second place. Travats is in third and fourth for Night Flash. ARL is technically net lead right now. Depending on the strategy for the top 4, if they're going to be trying to do 15 laps on these medium tyres. Will ARL's tyres be better? That is the question. And is it going to pay off? We'll soon see, as he's managed to close that gap down a substantial amount. 16.2 seconds, to say 16 seconds to the leader. Onsu and Abel coming into turn 12. In fact, wait there, we've got Jake and Sneaky Turtle. Oh, just clicked onto that at the right time there. Got Sneaky Turtle going into Ass Tube there. Jake manages to make a move up on Sneaky Turtle during all that. Did Sneaky Turtle get a broken front wing? It doesn't seem like it, so a bit lucky there for the Mercedes. Jake, though, doing what he can to try and move up the field as much as he can and make up on that mistake that happened earlier, or incident. I'm unsure if there was any contact, and judging by that, I don't think there was in the S's, because that could possibly happen again. Maybe that car is too low to the ground to be riding the curbs like that. I'm unsure how the physics will come into it. Thatcher's 3-second time penalty. We've got ARL trying to close the gap. Godoy getting back past Lewis and moving up into 6th position yet again. We're going to go down to the 2 for Mercedes. Looking at Sneaky Turtle, though, is he going to be able to close that gap to Jake? I don't think he is. That gap is too big of a difference. Night Flash being overtaken by ARL, who's on them fresh hard compound tyres. Night Flash, Servatza, Onsu and Abel are all just doing what they can to survive to the end, and I don't think that is a wise thing to do. I think a 2-stop strategy is the better option. ARL's managed to close that gap in substantially just by blitzing it instead. As it appears, a 2-stop strategy is the best call in this game. Servatza opts to come into the pits. And is that them coming out on the hard tyres? Yep, it was. That was quite slow, but of course lag there. So they've made it 13 laps on them medium tyres. Let's see, Onsu and Abel still close together, still opting not to jump into the pits yet. Well, we'll soon find out actually, as they're just coming up to the end of the lap. We've got Jake trying to close the gap in on Thatcher's and get that overtake done. He's going to go for the move down the inside. Thatcher's leaves the door open there for him, but he's opting not to push his luck. and not go too wild with it. So did we just see Abel and Onsu jumping into the pits? So they've lasted 14 laps on them medium tyres. ARL now whizzes by on 6-lap old hards and is going to whiz it all the way through. Now, is it capable to get these hards to the end, or will he need to pit again? I'm unsure on that. Onsu and Abel come out right next to each other. Srivatsa is quite a distance behind, unfortunately. 1.6 seconds. Jake managing to get past Thatchers as Thatchers jumps into the pit lane. Going on board with Onsu as he's trying to chase down Abel. We go to position changes right now, so ARL is up 2 positions. Lewis is up 2. We've got Abel down 1 position. We've got Kadoy up 3. 4 for Sneaky Turtle. So nicely done at 2. Them doing quite well out there. Jake being a bit unfortunate with that spin. Oh, both going out quite wide there. Is it possible to do that without getting a penalty? Because I've seen a couple of drivers doing it now, so is that how we've got such quick laps also. Kind of curious about that. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Sneaky Turtle? It is. And they've just been overtaken by Jake and Alpha Bull. Abel and Onsu have swapped places, and Onsu moves up into second place. Abel can do nothing here. All he can do is sit back and watch that rear wing open, and then closed again as Onsu pulls away using the DRS function. Going down to Kadoy, he's not managed to close the gap enough to have the DRS going into the detection points, but I think it's in the corners that Lewis has actually got him. Into the pit comes Sneaky Turtle. So who's all made a stop? Everyone's made a stop. Oh! Hold on a second. That should... I think damage may be unreduced, that's why. So, gets a broken front wing, does Kadoy, unfortunately. So, was it Kadoy? Yeah, it was Kadoy. She's coming into the pits to get a new front wing. On board with Night Flash, he's trying to close the gap on these 2 Silvers up ahead. Currently sitting in 5th and 6th. Let's see, is Night Flash going to be able to close this gap? He's got the DRS on the first Silver Vast Tube. He's going to be squeezed to the inside here, which is going to be his downfall. Come the second part, he could have got for a switch back there, but not enough. We've got a bit of contact there between the Silver and the Aston Martin there, but both walking out unscathed, fortunately enough. And Astube still remaining in that 6th position. We've got Abel with the DRS again on Onsu, closing that gap. It's bearing down on him within that slipstream. That rear wing wide open and goes down the inside. They're going to be too wide going into turn 1 and 2. And it looks like Onsu's managed to hold him off for now, but that could be a way to change it as he's got another attempt to close that gap and move across. Oh, and there's contact there. That was not nice of Abel. That was certainly not nice of Abel going across in the braking zone. Looking at Onsu. Is Onsu going to be able to hold off on that position? It looks like he is. Looking on at the other Aston Martin of Night Flash, it looks like he's managed to get past both of the Silvers and move up into 5th position. Now, Abel and Onsu, all this squabbling between the pair of them is allowing ARL to move up and away. Oh, and Astube getting sideways and into the wall. Has he got front wing damage? I'm trying to see if he has or not. Yep, unfortunately, no end plates on that front wing, so it's not going to be any use anymore. Looking on at Abel, trying to get past Onsu. Trying his luck again on the inside, turn 1 this time, but Onsu cancels that out by carrying the momentum around the outside. Now Abel's going to have another launch down the inside. Is there going to be contact again? Nope, they've managed to keep it clean this time and get through up into 2nd place. That's actually closed that gap between ARL and Abel. Well, ARL in 2nd place, whoever is in 2nd place at that time. We've got a couple of drivers into the pits. Astube and Jake has also came in to get off them mediums and set on a hard compound tyres. Got Godoy on the softs. That wasn't expected. Never expected to see the softs going for a good launch here. Let's see how it is going to fare out for them. Going to get past Alpha Bulls anyway, nice and easy, but their tyres won't last to the end, so it's pointless. Alpha Bull actually fighting this, as they will definitely need to pit again, but so will Alpha Bull quite soon, I would suspect. It's 13 lap old hard compound tyres. I don't think they're going to be going that far into this Grand Prix, but we'll soon see. Looking on at Onsu, chasing down Abel this time. It's like a classic Tom and Jerry sketch on right now between Onsu and Abel, playing the cat and mouse here. Moving down to Jake, who moves past Thatcher's yet again. Going to move back up to Onsu here. Onsu and Abel, this is the closest battle on track, but ARL, his tyres are falling off and the gap is now down to 3.5 seconds. 11 lap old hard tyres against 5 lap old hard tyres. There is almost no contest there, I will say. We'll continue to watch this battle between Onsu and Abel, and it seems like they're actually kind of working together at the same time as battling, not trying to get in each other's way too much as to end up slowing them down. There we go, Onsu managing to get past Abel in 2nd place, in 3rd place again. Whoa, that was a bit weird there. Seems Onsu has got quite a bit of lag. We'll stay on board with Abel and just watch the consistency of but where that actually Astube is side by side with Thatcher's coming into the stadium section. We'll get back on with Abel and Onsu in just a moment. I'm just seeing Astube struggling to get past Thatcher's. Thatcher's on them younger tyres but has not got the DRS, so now Astube could just move to the right hand side and claim that 10th position nice and easy. Oh, ARL into the pits. Is this going to be mediums or another set of hards? I think hards would be a better call. Medium tyres. So 14 lap on them medium tyres. That is, I think a medium hard is the optimum strategy. . Oh, let's see Jake getting past Alpha Bull now. Alpha Bull moving down into 9th position. Jake is in 8th now. Lewis just coming out of the pits on fresh medium tyres, pitting at the same time as ARL. Let's see how these medium tyres, of course, they have got lighter fuel loads, so the tyres may not wear down as much as that. Let's see if the 2-stop is going to be better than the 1-stop. Of course, the top 3 all opted for the 1-stop. Well, 4th place and down at least has settled on a 2-stop. 12.1 seconds the gap between Servatza and ARL. We'll continue to monitor that gap over the coming laps, but it seems that we don't really have to, as that is coming down fairly quickly. But looking on at Abel, that gap between himself and Onsu is coming down even quicker almost. Godoy getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's not the best thing that you want. Looking on, in fact, we'll have a look at penalties right now. So Lewis is on 3 seconds. Godoy is on 9 seconds. So technically, Jake is in 7th place due to penalties. Astube's actually in 9th due to penalties as well. Thatcher's on Sneaky, so we've got 3 seconds for Lewis. Godoy is on 9, 6 seconds for Alpha Bull, 3 seconds for Thatcher's on Sneaky Turtle is on 6 seconds worth. So we'll see how that is going to unfold as Astube now gets that move done, as Sneaky Turtle picks up another one. Currently 9 seconds worth of penalties for Sneaky Turtle. Ah, speak of the devil, there he is. Sneaky Turtle, I think that was it? Yep, it was. So, Sneaky Turtle just making sure that his Casper impression doesn't get in the way of the leaders in this race. Ooh, ARL, fastest lap, 1:17.918. We'll go to the fastest lap of the rest of the drivers here. Servat's fastest lap is 1:19.1. Abel looking for a move on the inside, going into turn 4, and it looks like Onsu's going to manage to carry that momentum on the inside of turn 5 and 6, and I think he's going to manage to hold off on that lead. Yes, he does nicely there. So 1:18.1 to 1:18.0 for Onsu and Abel. ARL 1:17.9, so quite a chunk quicker. Good 10th quicker, so we'll see how that is going to fare for ARL. Gap to leader right now is 15.6 seconds. So definitely got their ways to go in this Grand Prix. Whether the Servat's is going to hold them up, that is another question. Looking on at Abel right now, DRS wide open, closing that gap to the Haas. They've been swapping places for a while, and it seems like they're going to swap places yet again, going into turn 1. And Abel takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and it's going to have DRS again in order to properly maintain that first position. So we're on lap 25 in this Grand Prix out of 36, so only about 12 laps of racing left. Well, 11 after this laps of racing in this Grand Prix. I think that's the other Mercedes of Thatcher's just up ahead, getting a blue flag. There we go, we can see the signage just up ahead, waving, flashing the blue light to signal a blue flag. And I think it did actually give Abel the DRS. So Thatcher's is actually sneakily given Abel the DRS in order to defend from Onsu. As if we look at that Aston Martin DRS rear wing, we can see that it actually opens up nice and wide. Sneaky. Astube and Kadoy. Oh, Astube getting a big chunk of oversteer there. Understeer, sorry. Has he actually got that front wing sorted? It seems he has, so big bit understeer there, but still has got a front wing, maybe not got enough front wing, seems, but it seems like Kadoy hasn't got enough wing actually. We'll have a look at the tyre situation. Just because they're on the soft compound tyres, get off them, they will be like driving on ice. It's yeah, they won't be very nice to say the least. They'll be nice and slippery anyway, almost down to the rims. Onsu though, challenging back at Abel after a couple of laps, sitting behind that Aston Martin, moves out to the right hand side with the DRS and takes the lead of this Grand Prix yet again on lap 27. Coming around turn 2 and 3, DRS is going to be wide open yet again in order to defend that position effectively. 3 second warning to Jake and Alpha Bill, both of them getting a 3 second time penalty almost simultaneously. So we'll take this moment. Anyone who is watching right now who hasn't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to his channel. It really does mean a lot. Currently sitting at 91 subscribers, so just getting it near the triple digits, and it would honestly mean a lot. So if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel, and if you're enjoying this video, leave a like. We've got Onsu here being chased down by Abel this lap. Of course, it has been varying back and forth on a lap to lap basis. Abel now seeing what he could do about closing that gap, and it's going to be nice and easy, it seems. DRS proving to be very effective here at this track. I will say one thing I'm not really a fan of at this track is DRS dependency, and sometimes it is a bit too people drivers will tend to end up dependent on the DRS for overtaking a bit much. It's not the best idea sometimes. Some tracks I will say is I think it may be better to remove DRS zones, but some people may disagree with that. But hey ho, I think I think better. The cars should be better at producing a bit more cleaner air, but of course that's always difficult to achieve for the car behind. And of course, they don't really want a car that's easy to follow behind, do they? Any engineer, manufacturer, team will tell you that. They don't want a car that's easy to follow behind. Unless it's a second team driver, maybe. I would say that'd be a better one. Looking on at Abel, so he's not managing to close that gap, but yeah, he's not going for the move just yet. I think he's just going to be holding off until near the final of this epic race that has just unfolded, this epic battle between Onsu and Abel. Abel did put in a belter of a lap time. Onsu started in 4th place. Abel managed to put it on. Jeezy peeps. Onsu did manage to put it on pole. Abel, sorry, managed to put it on pole with an absolute stonker of a time. Onsu starting in 4th there, managing to get a good strategy, bit of luck also, and Managed to work it out well for Onsu. Abel though, did he get a little bit out of shape? He was 2 seconds down on that time there, so that is certainly an odd one. Onsu is lagging there. Gonna have to be careful of that ARL. I think the tyres have started to wear now. Having a look at them, 8-lap old medium compound tyres. I think they're starting to falter off a little. So we'll get back on that 15-lap old hard tyres for Onsu and Abel right now. And it looks like, is a one-stop still the best strategy here? We've got a few laps more to find out. We do remember what it was like for them medium runners in the closing stages of the like lap 13-14 sort of time. Let's see, are the hard tyres able to support it this time? Of course, and it's the medium tyres from the previous year that is the hard tyres, and the soft tyres are the mediums from last year. No, I remember. Yeah, so the softs from last year are the mediums this year, and the hards from last year are the mediums this year. That's what I was meant to say. Because we're using the C5, C4 and the C3, whereas before for the softs we used the C4, C3 mediums and the C2 hard compound tyre. Looking on Abel though, closing his gap going into turn 4, and he's going for it, trying for a move up the inside, not fighting too hard. Seems he's trying to get the move without fighting too much for it until the closing laps. They're both equal on battery level, so they're both trying to save off on that ARL. Is he going to be able to close this gap to third position Servatsis? We'll soon find out. Oh, Sneaky Turtle, he's retired. It's in the pit lane. That's a bit unfortunate there for Sneaky Turtle. Just calling it quits on laps 31. Let's look on at Abel. Some of these drivers are going to have to be careful. The ones coming through the stadium section at least on the exit. There's going to be a slow moving car coming down. In fact, we're going to have a quick look and see who is one of these cars go on board with Srivatsa. Oh, the Ghosts. Never knew it actually Ghosts, so could I actually hear? Oh no, he's about to be lapped, that's why. He is ghosting right now. We'll move back up to the leaders right now of Abel and Onsu, both battling out for the lead on lap 32. Abel's been sitting just patiently behind, just sticking in range of that Haas. It's been like that for the past 4 or 5 laps, I will say, just recently. Looking down at Jake, looks like he's getting the move done on the Silver of Lewis. Jake on them 13-lap old hard compound tyres against 10-lap old medium tyres. Night Flash is on 18-lap old hard compound tyres. Not very nice to be on, I will say. That is certainly not going to be fun for them. Astube coming into the pits for soft tyres at the end of this Grand Prix. Sneaky Turtles left the session. Godoy still on them soft tyres. That is very interesting. Abel and Onsu, my mistake. These two are battling out here, coming through turns 4 and 5. And Abel's on the outside going into turn 6. And it looks like he's going to have to try and hold it off. And they're wheel banging here around turn 6, going on to the inside for Abel. Oh, Onsu holding off nicely there around the outside. Gets that move done before turn 7 and holds off on that first position. Nicely battling from the pair of them there. ARL's managing to close that gap finally to Srivatsa a bit more. 1.8 seconds the gap between ARL and Srivatsa. Can ARL get up onto the podium? We will soon find out, as Onsu is going to be under attack from the Aston Martin. The DRS is wide open, and there we go. He manages to get past nice and easy. And DRS there to defend also, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword sometimes with this DRS, single DRS detection point for two DRS zones, especially one such as big as the start-finish straight, I will say. So, but hey ho, that's the way the cookie crumbles. We're on lap 34. We're about to start the penultimate lap in this Grand Prix with Abel in just a few corners time, as they're coming down into turn 12, then into 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17, and then we'll be on the penultimate lap. We've got Astube moving up on Godoy. These guys on the soft tyres in the middle of the field. 20 lap old hard tyres for the front two, and 21 lap old hard tyres for Srivatsa in third place. And it seems the one-stop strategy has paid off quite well for us, Abel and Onsu. For Srivatsa, not as much as it looks like. ARL could end up be coming back up in this. Is it going to be one of them last lap overtakes on Srivatsa? We'll soon find out. He's just trying to find the power there, and it's really hard on them medium tyres. It seems like they've reached the end of their limit here. Onsu getting held up there by the ghost of, I think that's Astube. Of course, not going to be the best, and this is going to give this is going to give Abel the DRS here. This is Night Flash or Lewis, whoever that is going to end up giving this Lewis is going to end up giving Abel the DRS to defend from Onsu. Onsu is going to have to try and use every bit of energy he's got and use that slipstream, use the DRS and it's not going to be able to do much, but he's going to have to go for that slipstream, use all that battery. That battery's screaming out for more power, but no, it doesn't look like a big lock-up from Abel going into turn 1, into turn 2, they're side by side, and it looks like Abel's got a 3-second time penalties off the track. Onsu takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible battle from the pair of them all race. Abel manages to get back going again, but could Srivatsa actually come back? No, it doesn't look like it. ARL is not managing to gain the time that he needs, and it looks like Onsu could be on to win this. And after Abel getting the DRS from Lewis there, that was actually quite an interesting one, I will say. Let's see how it's going for Onsu. He's just got a couple of corners left to go. And he's going to manage to extend his lead in this drivers' championship. And he crosses the line to take victory here. And it seems like both of them coming together there almost. Lewis and Onsu. Abel comes home in second. A bit of commiserations to him after an excellent battle all race. Srivatsa, congratulations on that third place. Managed to play it calm and just play their own game. ARL in fourth place. Excellent effort there at the end, but the tyres just could not hold on. Night Flash coming home in 5th place, but does have a load of penalties. We've got Astube and Kadoy still battling out there. Oh no, that was just at the end there, it seemed, with penalties. But Night Flash coming to the line now. And there we go, that is Night Flash coming across. Jake spun around, coming through the stadium section. That is not good. Could that end up? No, I think the gap is just that bit too big between Jake and Lewis. So Jake comes home in 6th place, not being there race, unfortunately. Didn't have the best of starts and had to recover quite a bit there. Lewis now just waiting for them as they crossed the line just before Onsu did. And I think they two were probably in a party talking, and that's what happened. Just to make Lewis do an extra lap for helping Abel, probably. He's just went and braked and just went, well, on you go. But, there we go. That is the end of round 2, and that was an absolutely spectacular race. Here we go, Onsu up there on the top step, Abel in 2nd place, and Servatsa in 3rd. Nicely done there. Driver day, it says Astube. Most overtakes was Astube. Onsu for the cleanest driver. Fastest lap for Night Flash, and race winner is Onsu. So there we go. Onsu getting that victory there from 4th place. Absolutely stellar race from them. Abel, but unlucky from on that last lap there. Couldn't have managed to go for that again, unfortunately, with that spin at the start of the lap. 3rd place, Servatsa, nice work there. ARL in 4th place, nicely done from them. Night Flash in 5th, 6th for Jake. Then we got Lewis in 7th, Astube in 8th. Night Flash also did get the fast lap, 1:17.014. Then we got Astube in 8th, 9th for Kadoy, Alpha Bill 10th, then Thatchers, and then we got Sneaky Turtle, Dirty Taffy, and Jay, who unfortunately did not finish the Grand Prix. AJLS saying I went for it, didn't work, unfortunately. It didn't, but it was just a bit unfortunate. I thought you were going to go on the hard compound tyres at the end there and just try and go for it, so it's a bit unfortunate. But what I'm going to do is next week here on the channel, same day on Saturday, I'm hoping to be live. We've got Baku next week, so that would be a spectacular one. That's going to be next Saturday. Tomorrow on the channel, I'm going to be live also for SRS, and I'm trying to see right now. Let's have a quick check. The race tomorrow at 8 o'clock is going to be Texas. So we're going to be there tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow if you enjoyed the channel. And yeah, from there, from me, it is peace out.